The Emperor has been expecting you.
Ladies, gentlemen, nothing is easy in this thing, and I understand why stormtroopers can't hit anything, because I can't see a thing. But look, we'll go for it anyway. First of all, you're all welcome to One Six Figure Focus. This is episode number 27 of the Focus, and today is a Halloween special. We've got Iron Logan.
How you doing?
We've got
Glad to
Dan.
be here.
We've got Alan.
Hello there.
We should have Ben, the attention-seeking geek. He might be dropping by later on, and we should have Marco as well. Very quickly, just going to address the chat. Everything might be in a little bit slow motion tonight. We'll see how we go. How are you all doing today?
Doing good, brother. Doing good. Having some fun.
Stuff. How was your Halloween?
Good. I took some people down. Took some trophies out on the streets.
Good
last
stuff.
night.
I'm actually going to stay away from you. I might have to switch the arrangement here because I know that you're all anti-Empire and stuff like that. Right, we're going to address the chat really quickly, and then we'll go through the panel. So, JC says, let's get this Halloween party started. Good stuff. Thanks for being here. Talia Meyer. Hello and happy Halloween, everyone. Tyria says, happy Halloween, good stuff. We have Alan in warming up the chat. Happy Halloween, everyone. What's up, boys and ghouls? Good stuff. Bubba Fettuccine, one of the greatest YouTube handles we've ever seen. We have Mary Sullivan. Happy Halloween, thanks for being here. Riley with the bro, let's go. We've got Steve's Showcase. Hello all. Brandon Saddle, the first ever person to drop a super chat when I got monetized. Thank you very much for the $20. Still remember August 1st it was. This is epic. Thanks very much. Riley getting a kick out of it. Good stuff. T-Ray is here. Judy is here. Oh shoot! He says we got John. Oh Jesus Christ!
Just gonna say.
Sorry,
you
folks.
to do that, are you?
I'm not going to spend an hour in that. Right, slightly different setup. I'm going to adjust my mic levels here now before we actually make a mess out of this. 1 second, there we go. My mic levels should be a bit better now. And here we go. I am a little short for a stormtrooper, so we'll go with that. We got. I'm standing up, by the way, for the next hour and a half because you can't do anything in this suit. Jack Crame. Howdy, friends. Hello, how are you? Mark P. What's up, everyone? This is the stream you're looking for. Good stuff. Judy, what's up, gentlemen? What a cool idea. Let's go. Thank you for the super chat. Really appreciate that, Anthony. If you haven't done so already, please consider subscribing to Figure Posing channel. We have Judy again. We've got Mark P. Mugwump, one of the most fun usernames to say. Scott McDowell. Just home seeing this thing in the cinema. It's been. Did you see? Oh, that thing. Ah, right. Good stuff. Good stuff. Maniac Collects is here. We got Jack Cram. Good stuff. My favorite Irishman. You obviously don't know too many, some guy. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I'm gonna just have a look. Just basically say hello to all the panel first, and then I'll go through the basic housekeeping and stuff like that. I spoke to Iron Logan already. Dan, thank you very much for taking my typically late link. But how are you, my man? I think you're on mute, or maybe.
I don't think he knows you're talking to him.
All right.
He's just.
You guys can hear me, yeah?
Yeah, I can hear.
Yep.
I can hear.
1 second, I'll just. Can you hear?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah. We can, DJ. Yeah. What's up, man? You good?
StreamYard, I think when we entered, it changed my StreamYard changes my stuff.
It
all the
reset
time, so.
you.
Yeah, it reset my mic. So.
Gotcha.
But as I was saying, appreciate you for having me on here. It's gonna be a fun stream. Halloween's definitely my favorite holiday, so this is great, man. Great group of dudes here.
Good stuff, man. Thanks for being here. I really appreciate it. I know I'm desperate for the last minute links. Alan, what is the story? How are you?
I'm good, man. I'm good. This is my little cobbled together kind of like Nostromo crew me.
Once you said Nostromo, you had me from Nostromo, so like that's good enough for me. Is something going to burst out of your chest later on?
Well, to be fair, I was going to bloody this all up, but I really like this t-shirt, so...
Fair point.
I'm not going battle damage today.
Gotcha. We got Blackbird Tech in here. Hey, how are you? All right, going to go through some basic housekeeping before we get tucked into this Halloween special. It's basically all about horror movies, the ones that kept you up at night, maybe the ones that you're interested in. Now this guy has to be in cosplay. This is the king of cosplay. We've got a new person. Oh my god, I was just watching this film earlier on.
It's showtime.
Excellent. How are you doing, man? You good?
I'm good.
How are you doing?
I'm good. Look at you.
I can barely move, and I couldn't see a thing in that helmet. Mate.
I love it. How are we all doing?
Yeah, good, man.
Doing good.
Great.
Nice to meet you, Ben.
Have you all streamed together before?
I've not met Iron Man Logan. What's his name?
that would be it. Iron Logan, yes.
Iron
Nice to
Logan.
meet you, Ben. You can call me John. How about that?
I prefer John. Dan, have I?
I think maybe once. I think maybe once
I've watched
for.
you from afar.
Yeah, I
In
think
a
maybe
bush.
once. Probably.
I'm gonna have to take these out in a minute because I can't.
That brings us nicely to the housekeeping rules. I'm joking. You got a little something here, Ben. Just.
Where? I had a salad.
Right. So really quickly get this. Okay, so basically this is the first of all, thanks very much to Brandon Salad for the $10 super chat. Really appreciate it. Thank you. I hope you appreciate the intro. I was literally looking through the mouth in that helmet because the eyepieces are not great. But look, that's why they can't hit anything. So this is the layout for today. Again, just to give you an idea of what we're going to be talking about, what we're going to be discussing. If it sounds interesting to you, stick around, hit the like, subscribe to everyone on the channel. And if it's boring to you, then, well, there are other streams, but we want you to stay. We really want you to stay. So we're going to outline some of the new videos on my channel, some of the new live streams. Then we're going to talk about movies that haunted you as a kid, movies that like kept you up at night, the really scary ones. Then you're going to give everyone's going to go through their best horror movie. Mightn't necessarily be the same one as that kept them up at night and scared them, but that's the whole point in the conversation. We're going to go through some horror recommendations and then some horror movies to absolutely stay away from, and then finally round it up with horror collectibles. Do you own any 6-scale figures or statues, any collectibles? Would you like to see any reissues or 2.0s of famous Hot Toys horror figures, or would you even like some new stuff that we haven't seen before by Hot Toys or other companies to get put up? So obviously I'm doing this charity thing from August 1st to December 31st. All super chats, super stickers, super likes, all that super stuff. And the revenue from the channel and all that kind of stuff is going to be gathered up, and it's going to be given to donated in January to the Temple Street Children's Hospital. So far we've raised a total of €628.48, so thank you very much to anyone who's contributed. And of course no one's under any obligation, but if you do, that's where it's going to. So these are my thoughts on the Hobgoblin. I know it's a bit old news at this stage, but just really like it. A review on Deadpool, which is a surprisingly really good figure. My thoughts on some chasers. There's a panel of guests here about figures that were working backwards on for the right price. And then this is just talking crap, actually. So, right. So we're good to go with the first topic. We need the first banner. So, anyone want to start us off on this one? No, not releases. I'll get rid of this 1 second.
I feel like I'm in a club with this music, man.
I know.
Is it too loud? Is it too loud? Will I drop it a bit?
I feel like I'm on a night out.
Okay, I'm going to drop it a small bit, so... Right. Yeah, it was too loud. It was on 15. That's too loud. That was like... if you type in Imperial March dubstep remix, that's the first thing that comes up. It's a banger. Right.
You and your dubstep. You love it.
Yeah, well, is dubstep singing thing? Sorry, do you know the cable reference in that just cracks me up.
I have him right
Okay,
here.
so we'll start off with you, because you have the man of dubstep himself there. You have Cable with you. So, John,
Yes.
what was the film or movies that kept you up at night as a child that really, really just like got into your brain and it was like it wouldn't leave you? And you know, every time something went bump in the dark or something like that, you were thinking, "What the hell is this? This is creeping you out."
Yeah, mate. I actually have a couple that I can clearly still remember. Like, it wasn't even hard. As soon as you sent that question, I was like, I already know what that is. For me, when I was younger, it was Child's Play. Child's Play 1. That I used to have nightmares where I would think I could hear Chucky in my mum's room from around the corner, like calling out to me, and I was like, Jesus Christ! So that used to give me a lot. They used to give me a lot of nightmares. And then, funnily enough, the original It. Now I had asthma as a kid, and I could always remember that scene of the kid searching for his inhaler. Yeah, man, that would always get me. Like if I was in a public toilets or something or whatever, I could just always remember. If anybody can remember the original It, that scene where the kid's, I think, in the change rooms or the toilets, and he's getting haunted by him. So those two ones, when I was young, would always really stay in my mind, and still are there, obviously, because that as soon as you messaged me, you brought it all back, you bastard. So it came back to me, and I'm now scared again.
My work here is done. Anyway, it's been a great stream, guys. We'll see you later. So thanks. So It and Child's Play was the first one specifically, was it, or in general?
Yeah,
the series?
that I can remember. This that I can remember. The original Child's Play, because as it went on, obviously, it got more funny.
Good stuff. And yeah, I think Anthony's right. You are now called Iron Dory. Anyway,
Yes.
we're going to move on to Alan. So Alan, so the 6 Scale Gallery. What were the ones, or could be the movie, or could be multiple movies that really like got under your skin as a kid, in your mind, and you couldn't get rid of them?
Again, like a couple like spring straight to mind for different reasons, really. The first one was Predator. I think I saw it when I was like 7 or 6. I was about my son's age when my dad didn't make me watch it, but was like, "Oh, let's watch Predator." Terrified. I wouldn't sleep. I remember my mum took on me and being like, "It's just a film. It's okay. It's just a film." Obviously now it's like one of my favorite films ever. But it's funny how like that kind of happens, isn't it? It terrifies you as a kid, then you love it as you grow up.
Mm-hmm.
And another one was Arachnophobia. I don't know if you ever seen Arachnophobia.
I have.
No.
I mean, John, you live in Australia, so I mean, spiders are like
I'm dodging them right now. I can see them.
I think in Australia they call that film, they renamed it, just called Tuesday.
Yes,
Melbourne.
pretty much.
Maybe.
It's the drop bears you want to watch out for, John, isn't that right?
Yes.
It's the
Yes,
drop
it
bears.
is.
I'm terrified. I saw that when I was quite young as well, and that's stayed with me. Like when it comes out the popcorn and stuff like that. Like, I'm not a spider
You're
guy.
making me want to watch it, strangely enough. But brilliant. Okay, good stuff. Down to Beetlejuice. Before we ask Beetlejuice Ben, this comment is just really funny. Yeah, I thought that was quite funny. Yeah,
Damn.
yeah, wasn't for me. Ben, I know Ben, you love it, but so I apologise.
That's why you pulled it up.
It partially, yeah. So it's just
Unbelievable.
if your friends
Get it
ain't
down.
making fun of you, they're not
Take it
friends.
down. Take it down. This isn't really a horror film, but remember Never-Ending Story? Remember the scene, right, where there's a wolf, or it's like a reoccurring scene, isn't it? That wolf stayed with me for years. Like it genuinely gave me like a reoccurring nightmare, like a weird reoccurring nightmare where I was in the car waiting for my dad to get petrol. I literally remember the dream, and that wolf would come at me, try to come at me through the car window or whatever. And then every night, new animals would join it, but with the same kind of like teeth and things like that. And it was like a legit, like I got took to a psychiatrist and everything. But that film also started my fascination with boobs. So, it took with one hand and, with the other. But yeah, horror-wise, my sister had a sleepover and they were watching Candyman. and I remember them all forcing me to summon him in front of the mirror, and that was a rough night's sleep for me. I was about 10, and they were like teenage girls, you know. So I've never forgiven her since. But yeah, those are two sort of things that you know stand out to me as particularly traumatic from my childhood. But it's as you say, it's funny, isn't it? Like what scared you then? Like I'm such a huge kind of horror head now, and it's like if you had told me that, even like to the point, I used to be a bit of a snob about horror when I was like 16. I was like, well, the acting's always bad, and you know. But like as I've got older, I've kind of appreciated the campness of it all, and you know, the kind of more hammy it is, I tend to enjoy that even more. So yeah, it's just funny how that goes. But
speaking of like campy kind of awful acting horror movies, I watched Scream last night, and I hadn't seen it in about 20 years, and I was thinking, this can't be as bad as I thought it was. It is. Like, it wasn't for me. The dude who, the guy in it who like, it's a Scream, baby. He overacting. It's insane. I was watching. I was like,
it's a sacrilege, Shane.
Was it supposed to be funny?
Yeah,
like,
it's like that's what always annoyed me about Scary Movie is that like people were like, oh, Scary Movie is a parody of Scream. It's like, no, Scream is the parody. Like, you know, Wes Craven was a commentary on horror. And,
I remember for sure.
Yeah. So Dan, what about yourself? I think you're muted, Dan. We can't hear you.
Dan doesn't get scared. He's a
Sorry.
gangster.
I muted myself. Honestly, bro, when I was a kid, like, you know, like a lot of my parents like horror movies and stuff, so like I'd watch shit with them, like at the house, and like I remember put on the Exorcism of Emily Rose, and that shit freaked me out, bro. When I was a kid, like that, and then there was another one too. Silent Hill, I guess. Like I was only like 11 years old when that one came out. Like the movie, it's not like a great film because I watched it recently. It's kind of shit, honestly. But I remember back then as a kid, like everything was so weird and like creepy. So like I was just like that one stuck with me. Like it wasn't really scary, but like that one was like in my head, you know, more than I guess others. But like, and then even other stuff too. Like even like Nightmare on Elm Street used to really, that one would scare the shit out of me. That one, like as a kid, that one scared the shit out of me. But I love those movies now. I mean, obviously, you know, I love horror movies. But yeah, those were the ones that definitely got in my head when I was a kid, and you know, gave me definitely bad dreams.
I think I just need to give a warning here. Like, if you've been affected by any of the issues now and stuff, my ones are strange. They're not technically horror films. When I was a kid, my collecting is basically rooted in movies, where, you know, a lot of people it's in maybe animation or comic books, and I think a lot of people it is actually rooted in movies. But so I'm a film fan first, and I always gravitate towards science fiction films, always. But like the two that really just, you know, kept me up at night, and that I was just got into my head and created fear was actually the first Terminator film and the first Alien film, because I think it's just that concept of something chasing you that you cannot bargain with or reason with. I'm pretty sure Sarah Connor says that, or Kyle Reese might say that in the first film. That metal endoskeleton, you know, even if you can't see it, you know it's under there, and there's no reason. It's programmed to hunt you down constantly. It's not going to get tired, no matter where you are. Kind of like that movie It Follows, which just watch that. I actually thought that was all right. But so they definitely, I know it's a science fiction film, but it definitely had a horror element. I think it does. So that really got into my head. And
I agree, Shane.
Yeah, sure. It's and the aliens thing as well. Again, it's not like a human. You can't bargain or reason with it. It's just this. It was a really scary thing. Like, and I think H.R. Giger's work is just like amazing. Like the first film really the Ridley Scott Alien film set in 1979, you don't see much a lot of the time. They took a leaf out of the Jaws book, because if you show part of something, or you show a shadow, your mind fills in the blanks, and a lot of time those blanks are quite devastatingly scary, because what you imagine, the not knowing is scarier than the knowing. But then of course when they showed it did look scary too, because of the H.R. Giger's work and stuff. But yeah, them two, they definitely stuck with me. So anyone else want to add something else before we move on to the next topic? Or
I was just thinking, actually, Shane, the first RoboCop, when he's getting his limbs blown off, that always stuck with me as a kid. That
was vicious.
Like I could just, that would flash into my mind sometimes. I'd be like, oh Jesus! My parents let me watch movies too young. I swear to God.
Yeah,
that was the 80s and the 90s. It was like,
go to jail
just
now
a suggestion.
We'd get cancelled or go to jail now. I tell you, if we did that.
I wouldn't show my kids the things that I watched when I was their age. I wouldn't let them watch it. It's funny, like all of this is like, I think it is therapy, because I'm getting like memories, and I'm like, oh wow, yeah, there was that terrifying thing and that terrifying thing. I remember we had a VHS, and I think my dad had recorded Star Trek 4. It'd been on TV, so he recorded it, but the film that had been on before was Gremlins, and I remember the recording started kind of at the end of Gremlins, where it's all kind of, and I remember every time we put it on, I would freak out if it hadn't been fast forwarded to the beginning of Star Trek, because I'd see the end, I'd see the Gremlins in the Christmas tree and shit, and that used to terrify me. God, they're still coming back. It's like therapy, man. It really is.
You know what, Shane? F you, Shane. I didn't have these memories.
I'm really worried about Alan now.
Alan's going to be rocking himself to sleep.
I bet you Alan was actually dressed up as something petrifying, but then took one look in the mirror and said, no, can't do it.
No.
Can't do it.
No.
Don't let the beast out.
He was in a full xenomorph outfit before. He was like, I'll just go with a hat.
Yeah, I just for that.
I'm just going to fly through some of these comments here. So Jack Cram, Scream is kind of intended as a send-up. It's satirical in nature. I definitely got that vibe when I was watching it last night. It's sort of a comedy. Definitely, there's a lot of the lines are like Dewey, and it's a strange thing to pick out. Dewey's talking to the chief of police, I think it is, and the chief of police is a real, like, man's man, and he's smoking a cigarette, and Dewey's eating an ice cream, but he's really intense. And it's just so funny, because the man is really intense, going, we got to track this guy down. It's the anniversary of the Cotton Weary murder and all this. And Dewey just takes a lick of the ice cream. He's like, yeah. It's really intense. It's just funny, like, because it's just so funny as the ice cream. It just it cracked me up last night anyway. Captain Marvel scared the hell out of me. There's a few people not liking some of these Marvel films. Scream was Wes Craven celebrating a genre he helped build. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Matthew, is it Lillard?
Lillard, yeah.
Is this the guy that I'm so impressed with? Is that the guy with the overacting?
Yes. But
I got you. Alan says, I think Shane has arranged a free therapy session for us all. It could go one of two ways, right? So, you're right. So the next, I'll keep flicking up some of these, but the next topic then was horror movies you'd recommend. It doesn't have to be necessarily your favorite movie. The next question will be your favorite movie. But if you had a short list, and it mightn't even have to be big blockbusters, just movies that you watch, you're like, that's a damn good horror movie. What would you recommend? I'll work backwards this time. I'll go to Dan first.
Ooh, recommend. So like me personally, I like watching stuff that will actually get me scared. So I'd say Taking of Deborah Logan is a really good one if you want to get scared. There's another one. Sinister is pretty good. I like Sinister a lot. Sinister, Conjuring, and Insidious. I think those three are like the big ones that I think are pretty good, that are actually scary. There's another one. I recommend that you haven't seen. More like a campy one. If you haven't seen Evil Dead 2. If you haven't seen Evil Dead 2, it's fucking awesome. If you know, if you like some good like cheesy, gory, like horror, it's awesome. I love that movie.
Groovy.
But yeah, I can't think of another one right now. There was one I had that was like really scary, but I can't think of the damn name of it. Yeah, I'll see if it pops in my head later, or maybe somebody else will say it. But
Cool. Maybe we'll pass on to Ben, and then if you remember, Dan, just let us know.
yeah, for sure.
Ben.
Yeah, so it's really hard. Like, it's like asking my favorite child. I mean, I only have one child, but it's still like asking me my favorite niece or nephew, maybe. I've actually got one. No, so I will say Halloween. Obviously, the 78 original John Carpenter. For me, that film. I mean, that film changed the genre, and it completely kind of paved the way for all of the sort of slasher icons that I have gone on to love. Your kind of your Freddy's and Scream and Chucky to an extent and stuff. So yeah, Halloween, the original, but also the 2018 Halloween is incredible. Like after like 8, 9, sequels and requels and H2Os and God knows what. Like Michael had gotten to quite a bad place, and they did such an incredible job to sort of bring him back, make him feel scary again. James Jude Courtney is the guy in the suit for the sort of modern Halloween films, and he just brought a real kind of velocity and intimidation to the character, which I don't think many people have done since like Nick Castle in the original. So yeah, I am Halloween 78 and Halloween 2018 are sort of some of my pinnacles there.
Good stuff. So you're going for a classic, and then kind of, I suppose, in a way, a modern kind of a classic as well.
Yeah.
So
I remember it now.
Alan, what is it? What was it called?
It's called Hereditary. If you guys have ever seen Hereditary,
Oh, what a
I
film.
watched it about 2 weeks ago. Yeah,
it's a great movie. It genuinely gave me like the fucking creeps. Like, I highly recommend it. If you guys are down.
yeah. I double down that as well. I definitely double down that. It's a solid horror film, and it's a nicely shot film as well. There's some of the like the opening scene. Can you remember the very, very opening shot?
Not quite right now. No, it's been a while, but
it's not a spoiler, so I'll outline it. It kind of one of the characters makes these they're kind of like dollhouses, but they're like really detailed, and the camera kind of like it pans. I can't remember if it pans from a room into the dollhouse.
Kind of,
that's what it is. Yeah, it pans in, doesn't it, Alan?
Yeah.
To a dollhouse, to a room, and the detail is amazing. But then someone just walks in to the door, and you're like, then the movie starts from there. It's great. Like, it's so good. But it's that's I would definitely, that'd be one of my recommendations. Yeah, 100%.
Have you guys seen Midsommar? Because I think that's the same creators.
Same guy, yeah.
Absolutely love that film.
That guy is
Florence Pugh's like amazing in it as well.
Right.
Like, yeah, highly.
And isn't
recommend
the guy in it? He's gonna be playing Adam Warlock, no?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I forgot he was in that.
Yeah. Yes.
He's not in it long, I'll tell you that for free. But yeah.
No.
I would recommend It Follows, which I think you mentioned before. That's a great little kind of. My friend watched it. I said, "Oh, what did you think?" And he said it was the biggest pile of what did he say? Hipster shit that he's ever seen in his life. And I was like, right, okay, that's a great.
Oh, that's even worse than regular shit, man.
I think it was the kind of the 80s-y synthy soundtrack that it lost him. And
hipster shit has a little beard and like all rounded glasses.
Yeah.
I thought that creeped me out though. That thing, man.
I love it. I loved It Follows. I think it was really great. It's this tension.
Do you know, like, sorry to interrupt you. Do you know, say like in that situation, and let's a lot of them, they want to get out in the open so they can see things coming from all angles.
Yeah.
But like, can you imagine like you're like at the top of a big building far away, and then you just see this thing. It could be a mile down the road, but that grabbed me. Even though it's like slowly, and it's coming for you, and it's a mile away. You're like, I still only have X amount of minutes like for it. Like that just creeped me out.
If you break it down for someone and say, oh, the thing follows you, but it can only walk, and you think, oh, what? That's not scary at all. But it can look like anyone, and obviously you could be in a crowded place and people walk past all the time. You don't know if it's the thing or not. Like, it's crazy.
You have to sleep sometime.
Exactly.
The thing that scares me about that film is that to pass it on, you have to sleep with someone, and I have to really try quite hard for a long time to get someone to agree to sleep with me. So I wouldn't stand a chance. Game over.
I don't believe that. I don't believe that.
Like this.
And so
Thanks
for that insight into your life, Ben.
Free therapy session. So
If you've been affected by any...
I think someone mentioned it in the chat as well. A film called Bone Tomahawk.
Yes.
Brutal.
Yes.
Right.
Brutal.
Spoiler alert, this is going to be in my avoid section as well. Not because it's a bad film, but because it takes a turn at a certain point. And I kind of wasn't... I knew it was going to turn. It's sort of like Predator in that way. Like, it starts off as one thing and kind of morphs into a different thing. And kind of Bone Tomahawk and Overlord as well. Actually, someone else mentioned that. That's kind of Nazi zombies, the film. It's awesome. It's fucking boss.
What about the intro, man? The intro scene when they the whole intro to that film was crazy.
Overlord.
Yeah, is that the plane crash?
Yeah,
follows the plane. Oh, Jesus, that is insane.
Great, it's a really great film. And I think it's in it. Kurt Russell's son, US agent, Wyatt Russell. He's great in it. He just looks like Kurt Russell at points. It's crazy. But yeah, Bone Tomahawk's a good one, which stars Kurt Russell, and it's great. It's terrifying. I don't want to spoil it. It's a western, but there's another kind of genre in there as well.
It's brutal.
Yeah. There's things I saw in that film that I'll never unsee.
Yeah.
Again, it's just horrific. And any Carpenter film, John Carpenter's just it's just October for me. Like,
oh shit, The Thing.
The Thing, The Fog, even Assault on Precinct 13 and things like that. Like, it's just that synthy Carpenter score. It's just Halloween to me, and Halloween obviously.
Yeah.
Good stuff. And last but not least, then John.
Oh, geez. Well, one of the ones I would recommend is probably my favorite one, and I guess I can talk more about that in the next section. But House of a Thousand Corpses is one of my favorites. If anybody has seen that, by Rob Zombie, that movie freaked me out in the cinema. It just freaked me out how psychotic they were, especially the blonde. Have any of you guys seen that?
Yeah.
House of a Thousand Corpses?
Yeah. It's been a while, but yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah, that to me was one of the freakiest ones. Hills Have Eyes. The Hills Have Eyes.
Oh, yeah, that's another one. Great fucking film.
And then probably another one I can think of. I enjoyed the one with Jessica. Maybe this is just me loving Jessica Biel, but I loved the Texas Chainsaw Massacre with her in that. That's another one that I quite enjoyed, the remake of. But yeah, I think things like Bone Tomahawk, definitely disturbing. But really, House of a Thousand Corpses, I haven't watched it in a long time, but I just remember how I felt. And I was, in my teens, early 20s when I watched that, and that still scared the shit out of me. Or just more freaked me out with how psychotic they were. Yes, I recommend that one for sure.
Good stuff. Some load of solid recommendations there. Hereditary was going to be one of my ones, definitely. I thought that was a good show. I'd be very wary about these shows that in the trailers they kind of advertise themselves as like the scariest movie ever made or whatever. So that unfortunately like sets it up to be the scariest movie ever made. I know you're supposed to take it with a pinch of salt, but it had its jumpy bits, but it also had the psychological bit gets
Yeah.
inside your head, and I think the ending of it is
Fucking
just made me feel very uncomfortable.
yeah.
But yeah, that's a banger. I think the Paranormal Activity, the first three, are great films. There's nothing to them. Has anyone ever seen them?
The first one was one of the kind of the best horror experiences I've had at a cinema, you know, in terms of
Yeah.
the whole room jumping at the same time and, you know, really good.
It's
Even the first Saw movie as well.
First Saw movie was great.
Yeah, you know what, that'd be that was actually on my list as well, because it was clever. It was very. I personally did not see that twist coming. Sorry,
When the
if
music
anyone
kicks
hasn't
in,
seen
and
the
Saw,
music.
shit gonna go down.
Yeah, I didn't see it coming. I really didn't. I thought there was a clever film and a scary film at the same time. The three Paranormal Activity films, there's loads of them. I think there's like 7 of them now, but I definitely those first 3. I really like the third one because one of the vantage points they use is, I think every single one of those movies they go back a generation or something like that, and in the third one they're using VHS tapes as to record the footage, and he wants to pan the husband. He wants basically an angle that would be, he wants a wider angle. So he takes a fan, I think a normal plug-in fan that goes left and right, takes off the fan and mounts a camera on it. It's a sellotape like. But it's so clever because it turns so slowly and you just see, like, I'm even getting shivers thinking about it, you just see like a pot barely moving, and then it pans back and it's glacial like, and you just know, oh, there's something else, and then it turns back like, and the pan is gone, or there's that just again not seeing a lot, but yeah, I definitely recommend those. And look, like it or love it, the Blair Witch Project,
It paved the way for Paranormal Activity.
Yeah, a point of view type of movies. Like it's there's nothing to it. You could probably make it yourself, but it was really, really good.
I don't know if you've seen Wreck as well. It's a Spanish film.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I was literally just about to talk about that.
That's heavy.
REC, is it?
REC, yeah.
Yeah.
I think there was an American one, I think it was called Quarantine.
Quarantine.
Set in an apartment building with, I think it's a journalist, and she's kind of embedded with the fire crew. Documenting the night. And they get called to this, incident in an apartment block. And it was found footage because it's her cameraman, filming everything that's happening. And shit gets insane.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's my
What
favorite.
about this one,
film,
Mouth of Madness? Anyone heard? I've never heard of it.
I've not heard of that one.
No, must look that up. And so Wreck is for the shortlist as well.
Yeah.
And
The Descent, that's a good one.
Yeah, that was
never actually watched it. Heard of it, but never watched it.
It's like a Lord of the Rings Gollum prequel.
Right. Is it actually, or is it just like are you just being Ben?
When you watch it,
you'll see.
You'll see.
Oh, Gollum. Oh, another Gollum.
Boba Fettuccine, Trick or Treats for the kids, for the youngins. Thank you very much appreciated. Is this dramatic enough when I'm turning like this? But it's just a different setup here because I can't sit down. Right, so the next thing we're going to have a look at is just your favorite scary movie. If you had to name one, like, it doesn't necessarily have to be the scariest, but in terms of in the horror genre, or even a film with a scary element that you're like, I would recommend that film to anyone. I would recommend that film to the couple who are going to the cinema who have 2 newborn twins and literally haven't been to the cinema in a year, and they have to pay a babysitter and they want to watch something good. No pressure, lads, no pressure. John.
Why do you have to go me first? I'm sticking to A House of a Thousand Corpses. I'm sticking to that because I just remember that just being freaky. What I think the most freaky thing about that was it's a family of killers. The ending, I liked the ending from memory, but what always got me was how much they loved to just kill and maim people, and how they went about it. It was just, that first film was just super creepy for me. So that's my favorite. It's one of those movies that I also don't want to watch again, because I don't want to relive it. So it's just in my mind as a. I don't watch many scary movies anymore, so that one sticks in my mind big time. So
Has that got the mermaid bit in it?
Yeah, and it's got Dwight Loveless in it, and So
yeah,
I mean that's just freaky, brutal, savage. The filming was insane, and just how much they really wanted to kill people was, I just thought, really cool. That's me.
Good stuff. Alan?
It would have to be, I brought it. It's The Thing. John Carpenter's The Thing. It's brilliant. I've loved it for a long time. Just it's it's everything. It's obviously it's a Carpenter film, so I quite like it. But it's the score, it's the paranoia, and not knowing who is who and where the threat is. I just think it's really influential. I remember there was an X-Files episode where they were trapped in kind of like an Arctic base, Mulder and Scully, and there was that was kind of like an homage to The Thing, and the Hateful Eight. That's sort of like an homage to The Thing as well. Not knowing who the threat was, and I think that there's a bit of score from The Thing that Tarantino uses in The Hateful Eight as well from The Thing. Man, it's just fucking awesome. It's just influential. Kurt Russell's in it. Brilliant.
Nice.
So that was The Thing, yeah? I've never seen it. I must actually watch it.
Oh, Shane, you really got it.
I've never seen it either.
I need to watch
it.
that.
Guys.
It holds up so well as well, the practical effects and everything. It feels new. It feels fresh still.
Mm-hmm. They actually made a kind of like a prequel. That's called The Thing as well, which is confusing. But yeah, just when you're searching for it, make sure it's the Carpenter version from 1982, I think it was. But yeah.
Good stuff. Ben?
So I completely didn't listen to your question initially, because when I said about Halloween, I thought you were asking your favorite scary movie then. So I'm gonna give now I'm gonna give my answer for some recommendations. So one of the ones was Wreck. So Alan's taken my thunder there.
Sorry, mate.
I want to recommend The Babadook. If anyone's ever seen The Babadook, so it's actually an Australian-made film, and it features. It's a very kind of centralized story about a single mum who's basically going through a mental breakdown, essentially, and it's just an incredible kind of study of the downfall of someone's mind and paranoia and suspense and everything like that. And you don't even, there's kind of a monster there, but you don't necessarily even need to see it and stuff. It's just, I couldn't recommend that one more. Also, I watched Terrifier 2 this week after I actually got to meet David Howard Thornton, who plays the lead monster, who's a kind of like a mime clown called Art the Clown. So if you've not seen Terrifier, you wouldn't even necessarily need to see that film to see Terrifier 2, because there's not much plot, to be quite honest with you. But I can safely say it's one of the most violent, grotesque, depraved, sickening things that I've ever seen, and I loved every minute of it. It's all kind of practical effects and in-camera shots, and I watch a lot of horror, and I was, say this is the screen, I was having to kind of do that thing where you just give yourself a breather, because it was a lot.
I heard.
Yeah, they've actually given out vomit bags as part of the promotion for it at some of the screenings and things. Yeah, it's that bad. Terrifier 2 if you're brave enough.
Damn.
Right. I'm not.
I'm not.
No,
thanks.
Thanks, Ben. And Dan?
Damn, dude, this is a hard one. I want to say Friday the 13th, part 3, or the first Insidious movie. Those are like the two I'm torn between. But I'll probably just go with Friday the 13th because I feel like anybody can just go and watch it. It's a fucking classic, man. It's the first time you see him with the hockey mask. And like, dude, the kills are just brutal, man. Like,
So
yeah,
part 3, is it part 3? Because that's the first hockey mask.
yeah.
Or do you like his mum?
Nah, 3. I like 3 more. Yeah, I prefer 3 because like
3's my favorite out of all of them, I think.
yeah, like out of the whole franchise, 3 and 4 are definitely like the 2 I lean towards the most.
Yep.
2 was great as well. That one scene where he kills the dude in a wheelchair, that shit was hilarious. But yeah, I love Friday the 13th, man. It's just an amazing franchise. It's just that's just he's been my favorite slasher since as long as I can remember. So my heart lies with Friday the 13th. If you haven't seen them all, like I went on a binge last year. Like I watched all of them, like even some of the shitty ones, and I was just like, I was disappointed towards the end. Jason X is so bad. Even
Jason X is bad, but it's got Kane Hodder as Jason, and he's a great Jason. So I love Jason Takes Manhattan.
That one's cool.
Never guilty pleasure, punching people's heads off.
Yeah, that scene where the guy tries to box him, that shit was hella funny. Oh my god, classic. But yeah, Friday the 13th.
I'm ashamed
for sure.
to say I've never seen Friday the 13th, but
No way.
yeah,
Oh,
I'm gonna
Can
sort it
someone
out.
ban him from his own stream?
it's
But I'm also glad that you did not say Insidious was your favorite film. I watched that a few nights ago, and I was like, "What? Are we talking about the same movie with the Darth Maul's the bad guy?"
yeah.
What's the creepy
Different
song he
tastes.
plays? I like that creepy Victorian song.
Tiptoe through the tulips.
Yeah, but the whole concept of Insidious, I feel like is what's dope about it. Like the whole spirit walking and all that. Like I feel like that's a cool element.
True.
That's
No,
not
that's
really
very
like
true.
present
Very
in
true.
a lot of like paranormal stuff we see. Like so that was cool. I really like that about that movie. But yeah, Darth Maul is villain. That's why I like it too. That shit is sick, bro.
I thought it was a prequel. My two, it'd be too obvious for me to mention the Terminator and Aliens because they're technically sci-fi, but they're sci-fi horror. But they did really, really petrify me as a kid. But in terms of like straight up just horror genre, Get Out or Us.
Those are great.
If you haven't seen those movies, fantastic movies. Have you seen anyone seen Get Out or Us?
Yeah.
Yes, I think both. Yeah.
At Us, I that just.
Someone said
that
Candyman.
melted me.
That one's amazing. The original. Oh, amazing.
I really,
The Candyman
really
one?
liked the requel thing that we got recently for it.
Yeah, it was okay. I liked it.
I really like that. He's
the
just been
reboot?
cast as Wonder Man, I think.
Good stuff. Okay, so just for fun, we don't even have to go into too much detail. But a horror movie, you'd be like, yeah, no, it's not great. Let's start with you, Dan.
Scream. The latest Scream was absolute shit in my opinion.
Yeah.
It was.
So-
I never wanted to like. Thankfully, I didn't pay for it. Like it was streaming, so like if I was in the theater, I might have walked out. And like I've never walked out of anything. And the Scream was just so bad. Like the recent one, oh my god, and
So you wouldn't recommend it to the couple then that have to get a babysitter and drive to the cinema?
hell
and,
no.
Okay.
It's a waste of time and money. And then there's another one that's like somewhat like it's supposed to be like a thriller horror. It's a movie with Russell Crowe in it, believe it or not. It's like this cheap little. You guys might have seen it. I can't remember the name of the movie, but it's pretty much this guy. He loses he just kills his wife one day, and then like he's in traffic like after he murdered her with blood and shit all over him. He's in traffic, and then like this woman like cuts him off, and like just he gets upset and he starts following her. Going like it's so cheesy, it's so bad. He's like invincible all of a sudden. Like cops are missing their shots on him. Like it's crazy. It's absolutely ridiculous. I've never been so furious at a screen before. Yeah, that movie was ridiculous. I'm gonna see if I can look up the name in a sec. But that movie was absolute shit.
You're not exactly selling it. I don't think we need the name, but thank you.
Yeah.
So Ben, any movie out there you'd be like, no, you're better off investing your time somewhere else?
I found this a really hard question to kind of answer because, as I said earlier, the kind of the camper, the more kind of tongue in cheek it is, the more I kind of enjoy that sometimes. But one film that wasn't that, and it wasn't scary or good, was the Nightmare on Elm Street attempted reboot.
That was terrible.
Really, really bad. It kind of took all of the charm from the original. It sort of tried to do nothing new. The sort of the choice of using computer effects over kind of practical effects that made that first one so special. Freddy was kind of far. There was no. The joy of Freddy is that Freddy's having a good time doing what he's doing. You know, Freddy's kind of having fun, and that's kind of what almost makes him scarier. And in this one, it wasn't the case. It was just this kind of twisted, you know, generic-y sort of. And Jackie L. Haley's an incredible actor as well, but it was just not good. I've heard rumours that apparently Kevin Bacon is being eyed up as a potential new Freddy, which could work because again, I think he's got those kind of comedy chops, but also can be quite a scary individual as well. But yeah, Nightmare on Elm Street reboot. Don't do it.
Okay, Alan.
I mean, it's kind of a cheap because it's like a guilty pleasure of mine as well. But it is shit. The Resident Evil, the original Resident Evil. You know what I mean? It's not. I mean, it's got the. You know, it's tangentially. What's the word? Tangential. It's kind of connected to the video game, but it's not really. And yeah, it's just there's something about it. It's awful, but I kind of like it. But I wouldn't.
Did you play the game?
Yeah.
Is that maybe you have that nostalgia that you're like, I'm gonna forgive it because it reminds you of the game?
Maybe a little bit. I think because I saw the film when I was like a teenager as well. So that kind of sticks with me, and yeah, there's something about it where I'm like, if it's on TV, I'll leave it on. I'll watch it. But if you had no connection to the franchise at all, I'd say just forget it.
What's the latest show?
No. I was kind of
worse.
I was gonna say I was really excited to see it because I'd heard like, oh, this is gonna be like a kind of a better version, and then all the reviews came out, and I was like, yeah, no, I might just swerve that.
Really bad.
It's just a shame.
John, is there anyone that you would just say maybe invest your time somewhere else?
Actually, well, to pick up from yours, mate. Honestly, the Resident Evil films were the biggest letdown for me. Honestly, like I played the original game. I remember when I first. This is how old I am. When I first played the first Resident Evil game, it came out in like this games place next to the cinemas that we went and got to trial a game or whatever. And I remember the hallway scene and just the intro to that first Resident Evil game. I will never understand why they didn't make the film like the first game in a mansion like that. Why, like not like that? Why did they not do that? Are you with me?
I agree. Yep.
Strip back the story as well. Like you don't need all a convoluted story. Just build the tension because that was what made this game so scary. Is the tension and you know it's so fucking dark everywhere and you didn't know when.
The anticipation, right? We talked about the anticipation before, anticipating not knowing what's there. If the first Resident Evil, I just remember being so let down when I first saw that movie, and I love Mila Jovovich, like she's awesome, but. Just the way they took the story, I'm like, you guys, you missed the boat. That would have been an amazing story just to do it exactly like the first game.
Yeah,
that's what scares me about video game movies, though, man.
Because I mean, the template is there with the game, and then they go, "Oh, we'll just do something completely different." It's like, well, why?
Sonic is very good.
To be fair, I've heard Sonic's pretty decent.
I bloody love
Sonic. Yeah, Sonic. I think Sonic might be the only exception, honestly. I mean, Uncharted wasn't actually that bad. I actually like the movie.
I haven't seen that one.
I've not seen Uncharted yet.
Uncharted.
Yeah, I liked Uncharted.
I liked the movie. I thought it could have been a little. I didn't have high expectations. I think that's what it was. So it was pretty decent.
Yeah, I liked it.
Good stuff.
Yeah, but that's
so.
me.
Finally, I would say the Blair Witch Project 2. It's just,
Haven't
it's
seen it.
not. I don't think that movie needed a sequel, and they just kind of ditched everything about the first one. I think some of the unexplained stuff makes something a bit more intriguing sometimes. But yeah,
less is
I would
more.
say don't taint the first one by watching the second one. There's definitely better ways you could invest your time. But anyway, just an opinion. So
That definitely happens, though, doesn't it? When like a sequel is bad, it does affect your enjoyment of the previous one. Say, a little bit. You're just a bit like, oh, it kind of ruins it.
I'll have to counter that with a no.
Oh,
There are two
okay.
Terminator films, and then they stopped making them.
Yeah,
Fair point.
That's true.
Saying, come on now.
Yeah.
But again, I get what you're saying. Some people kind of allow it to. Some people do allow it to taint the originals. Like I've heard a lot of people saying that the Boba Fett show killed Boba Fett for them, but the original trilogy has not changed. It's still fantastic. Boba Fett was cool and mysterious, and you know he was still a badass in The Mandalorian. You can always go, you know, if you don't like Boba Fett, you can go, yeah, I didn't like it, but it's not going to. The other shows were still great. Like he still tore apart a battalion of stormtroopers in season 2 of The Mandalorian. It was still amazing. Doesn't make that any less amazing, but you do hear people say stuff like that. But so back to collecting. Does anyone on the panel, just again, we'll, instead of like going through the panel, people just want to jump in. Like, do people actually actively collect any horror figures? Do they like collect horror stuff, figures or statues, or currently have horror or stuff in their collection, or maybe they're waiting to they have something in their eye, or they have a particular horror thing and they're looking for something. Get your words out, Shane. Ben, we're going to start with you. So
That armor's very tight.
oh, I'm in trouble here. It's actually not comfortable at all. But go on.
Yeah, so I've kind of centered the collection around like slasher, boogeymen kind of figures. I think that's always the horror that I prefer over those kind of ghost stories and stuff like that. Like I like a monster, I like a boogeyman, I like that kind of voiceless sort of demon or whatever. But so yeah, a bit of variety. My recent sort of acquisition is the Trick or Treat Studios Art the Clown from Terrifier. And very randomly, I showed this on Shane's channel the other day, but I picked up a Chucky Bendy fig for £20, 20 UK pounds. And what I did is I put the cloth outfit that was from an old NECA figure, and it fits onto it, and it actually looks, it kind of passes up okay as a 1/6 scale, figure.
That's pretty cool, man.
Oh, that's kind of creepy.
It's kind of done all right. So there he is with the boys. Sorry about the glare. And yeah, I got my Freddy in the other day as well. So I sort of run away with this collection a bit. So I've got the Leatherface, the classic Leatherface look on pre-order from Sideshow, and I'll hopefully pick up the Ghostface as well from them. And then I think Trick or Treat Studios are doing a Sam from Trick or Treat next year. I really want that figure. We all celebrated the Pennywise base, right? Because it's like a street. Trick or Treat Studios are doing the same for Sam, so it's like a street and a curb and stuff, and it's got like a little pumpkin with it. I reckon it's good. I reckon the base is going to be more popular than the figure. But yeah, that's my horror gang.
Nice.
Yeah, the
Good
boys.
stuff. And I think you're definitely going to be in the lead here, or I could be wrong. Anyone else want to jump in there?
We've got Pennywise. You should probably see him back there. And I kind of went back and got the City Hunter Predator.
I need to get that one,
So
man.
jealous. Yeah, me too.
Need to get it.
It's awesome. To be fair, the only reason I jumped on it, I don't usually go backwards because of like materials and things like that. And I think Justin did when Prey was coming out, he was doing like lots of reviews on Predators, and he reviewed the City Hunter, and he'd literally said there's no pleather or anything on. I was like, right, cool, I'll get it. The only thing is that he's got these little knee pads, and they've got like an elastic, or like kind of like a band around it, and they're so baggy, like they just kind of float around. So I need to fix that. And yeah, I've got like some NECA things. I've got like a little xenomorph. There, I've got like a quarter scale big chap as well, but I haven't got any room for it. It's up there. It's just in a box, and I can't.
Who made that?
NECA. I'll get the box in a minute, and I'll show you guys. But yeah, and just little trinkets, like little Q figs, like there's a little Pennywise, a little alien. I like a creature. Do you know what I mean? Like I think Pennywise is kind of qualifies as a monster. And as soon as that in art one went up for pre-order, I was like, yeah, gotta go for that.
I need to get that.
Oh, you got it.
I need to get that too.
Got to pay for it, but I'll worry about that.
That's tomorrow.
That's a problem for future Alan.
Yeah, that's a next year problem. But yeah, man, I've always gone. I've noticed everyone's got like a certain genre that they're kind of really into. Like there's slashers, there's kind of like Deliverance, kind of like Hills Have Eyes type horror. There's like hauntings and things like that. I'd say I was more of like a creature guy. Do you know what I mean? I don't know why I've always gravitated towards that, like Predator, Alien. Yeah. So yeah, anything like that, I'm all over.
No, it's an interesting point. It's an interesting point, yeah, because you're right. Because even within horror, there are like subgenres.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
We all seem to represent one, I think.
Yeah. What about you, Dan? Do you have any horror figures? I think you're wrestling with the Pennywise figure at the moment. I watched LWO.
Yeah. I'm definitely trying to figure out if I should get that one or not. But I have a couple in the collection. I have Michael Myers from Sideshow.
Yes.
I have that one. He's currently displayed with the ghost outfit and the glasses on. It's hilarious. Perfect for right now. I have that. I have a bunch of the NECA like smaller figures. I think I have pretty much everybody that they've made. Like in terms of each movie, like I have. Actually, no, I don't have a Freddy, but I have Ghostface, Leatherface, Pennywise, Michael Myers. Yeah,
which Leatherface do you have? Is it the Pretty Woman one or?
No, not the Pretty Woman. The yellow apron.
Oh, the 3-0. Was it 3-0? Did it?
No. It's the NECA figure. It's the small.
Oh, right.
7-inch.
So good
figures.
Though. The NECA.
They're great, dude. I mean, yeah, because like I didn't want to fill up my cabinets at the time with like a bunch of like 6 scale figures. So I was like, man, I want all of the horror figures, and like I don't want to go backwards and collect stuff that's like sold out. So I was like, fuck it, get some of those. My girlfriend actually collects. She has a few of them too. Like she's bought in a few, so she's really into horror. So
she can stay.
She can stay. And then I have a quarter scale NECA City Hunter Predator as well. So
Nice.
yeah, I think it's great. I wish I had the 6 scale, but I have the quarter scale NECA, and it's dope, man. It's massive though. Like
I think Alan's about to flex there.
Oh my gosh.
That's the big chap.
Yes.
Yeah, that thing is sick, dude. Dre actually has that.
So good.
Wow.
Show that box again there. Show that box again there, Alan.
Sorry, I was muted.
Yeah,
this
that
is
was
what kills me, right? NECA
Huge.
absolutely kill it on the 1/4 game, kill it on the 1/12 game, and it's just so frustrating that some of the stuff they do we don't have in 1/6 scale form. It's
Yeah.
very annoying.
Yeah.
What about you, John? Do you collect any horror?
I do not, sir, and nor will I. I doubt it.
Have you
I
got
don't need
zombie Iron Man?
I do not. I do not.
That's interesting. That's a great question, Ben, because he is like a hardcore Iron Man collector. But is that one not going to make it to the collection, or?
It will if it drops. It will. I definitely have something planned for it, but I'm just not. I'm in no rush to get it. That's one of the ones that if I can get it, if it's on sale, I'll get it and I'll add it to the.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
I'm not in a rush.
Yeah, and I don't either. I have. I did mention Terminator 1. I did feel that I know it's a science fiction film, but it definitely had that scary fear element to it. But I picked up the T800 just only last week. I got a really, really good deal. Guy was selling and it never been taken out of the box. €370, which is the same as $370 shipped. Inspected it. The pleather coat is A1. All the accessories, everything
Nice.
just got lucky, and I sat down, unboxed it while watching the Terminator, and yeah, it's still elements of it still definitely scared me. But I had a McFarlane Alien, big chap, but it just didn't fit in with the rest of my collection. So I would like to see Hot Toys do something again with that, which brings us on to our last topic. So I'll start with you, John, so if you don't mind. Is there any, I presume this is going to be a short conversation, is there any 1/6 horror figures that you would like Hot Toys to tackle, that you would actually have an interest in?
Look, honestly, I'd probably go back. I'd get a Predator. I wouldn't mind a Predator from the Prey film. I wouldn't mind that one.
That'd be
I think
awesome.
that one. I
That's
do
a
like
good film.
Predator. Yeah. I like it, but I wouldn't generally collect it. But if they made if I was going to pick one, it'd probably be that. I really like the look of that one, for sure.
Good stuff.
That'd be me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
good stuff. What about yourself, Alan?
Yeah, I think it'd be great to see them tackle, things the Sideshow are doing as well. Obviously, Sideshow, I think they're doing a good job with it. I've never seen them in hand, but they look great. Like, they always look awesome. But I mean,
Bodies suck.
Yeah, the bodies.
I've heard that as well.
Yeah.
I'd love to see them, really kind of go into that genre. I know obviously Pennywise was a bit of a, bit of a curveball for everyone. But they kind of dipped the toe in. I'd love to just see them even if it was like its own line, do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, the movie masterpiece stuff. They could have, a whole team just working on horror stuff. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd love to see that again. Like the Predator, that would be so awesome.
That'd be great. I hope.
So awesome. Yeah, pretty much it really. I think if you're a horror fan, you can get stuff. Even though Sideshow's bodies are a bit shit. People like Dean Knight with all of his like Michael Myers stuff. He really kind of like mods them, and a lot of the horror guys do kind of mix and match and get sculpts from masks from different creators, things like that, and just make the perfect version. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stuff. And what about yourself, Ben? Is there anything like that you have your eye on that you're trying to track down for the collection?
Yeah, so I've, as I mentioned, I got my Leatherface on pre-order, and I'd really like to get Ghostface in the collection as well. That Sam's a really exciting release for me next year. The Trick or Treat Studios they're at a really exciting time because they're kind of they've got the horror ball, and they're allowed to kind of run with it on a lot of stuff. So they've got like 9 different Michaels now, and these are obviously not like Hot Toys standards, but they are good enough, and it's the kind of obscure like Michael Myers from H2O or whatever. Like, who else is going to make that figure? No one else. So I really love sort of following what Trick or Treat Studios are doing. Someone mentioned a Gizmo there. I think they are actually planning to do a full-size Gizmo soon, so I'm looking forward to that. Obviously, I've like thrown myself together a Chucky, but I'd really love a proper 1/6 scale, properly made good guy doll to kind of go in the collection. So, and some swap out heads to kind of have Chucky and generic sort of good guy doll, and a Tiffany as well. I guess if you're making that, you're gonna need a Tiff to go with him. So, and then you're gonna need Glenn. So yeah, there's lots of things that I would like to see. It's just so I still think it's quite niche. I think in the scheme of things, though, these horror figures. So still feels like a bit of a fringe of the community. But,
A niche within a niche.
a niche within a niche.
Yeah,
It's like
and then
my
you're looking for-
YouTube channel is a niche within a niche within a niche.
I know there's a lot of YouTube channels with a lot less than 700 and something subs there, Ben. Like, you're doing something right.
Just numbers,
The Cosplay
just numbers.
King. So, Dan, is there any horror figures that you have your eye on, or you'd like to see done or done again, or
All of them.
all of them?
Just do them all.
You want your Darth Maul, didn't you?
Yeah.
The record player.
I want my Darth Maul with blue
hoops will
eyes.
Stand.
Dude, I would love to see Predators again, like if they do them like updated. I would love to see a proper like a Hot Toys like Hannibal Lecter with the full gurney, like him all strapped to the fucking thing, you know, mask and everything. I would love to see that. American Psycho. I know how that one third party company is making it. Yeah, Iconic is making that one. I'm probably, or Dre. I know Dre's gonna get it.
I feel like that was announced years ago. Like
it was. It's still not out
it's
yet.
not out yet.
It's been delayed.
It looks great. It looks great though. But it'd be cool if Hot Toys kind of did it and give us some alternate sculpts and maybe like one with blood, different outfits. You know, get the whole thing. Just because Hot Toys quality is just it's hard to beat. You know, and yeah, there's just so much, dude, to even name. Like, I would like Hot Toys to pretty much do everything Sideshow's done. That way, we have like an actual body that can stand on its own. We have a real base, like not the cheap plastic stuff we get that like doesn't work. I would like I would like all of those, man, all of them. But yeah, it's just there's too many to name.
Yeah, thanks, Dan.
Okay.
So a lot of people making jokes about horror charges or horror import charges and mortgage rates. When people are feeling the pinch. My ones are fairly simple. I'd love to see an original Predator, maybe 2.0 from the original movie, a big chap or any of the aliens from the second film. An endoskeleton from Terminator, not necessarily horror, but it has a scary element. In terms of the slashers, I don't typically collect say the likes of Ghostface or Michael Myers, but I actually love the Halloween films. No, I think they're kind of the more maybe creatures, kind of like what Alan was saying, kind of scarier science fiction style creatures. I think that what I'd be definitely looking out for. So I think we're going to wrap it up, folks. We're kind of at the end. I'm going to go through people's channels, and I suppose we'll start off with you, Dan. Anything you want to plug there? Anything?
I just got these mod cases in, so I might do a video on them, just kind of like giving a brief like overview on what my thoughts are on them and like what the process was like building them and all that, and I'll go into detail about that. I'm debating waiting for my last case to show up. I don't know when it's going to ship, but I'm debating waiting, but if it's going to take too long, I might as well just do the video now. So yeah, just doing that, and then I think that's pretty much it for now. Kind of slow for me lately.
Good stuff. If you haven't subscribe to 6 Scale Reviews on YouTube, definitely check them out and give them a sub, or follow at 6 Scale Reviews on Instagram. So Ben, what about yourself?
Yes, so if you're into horror, which you might be because you're watching this show this evening, I went to a horror convention in Manchester last weekend, so it's for the love of horror. So there's just a bit of a showcase of some of the cosplays and stalls that I saw there on my channel. I recently reviewed as well. I saw a couple of people slagging it off in the chat. Halloween Ends. So if you want to see my constructive opinion on that, I've got a little review on that. I've started doing my first reels. So some of these horror figures that I've been showing off tonight, I've done some reels on those, and that's pretty much it for me at the moment on my channel.
Good stuff. So if you haven't subscribed to Attention Seeking Geek on YouTube, go over there and give them a sub, and check out Attention Seeking Geek on Instagram.
Appreciate it.
Alan,
Hello.
what are you photographing? I know you put up some photos of that Pennywise recently, I believe. Would that be correct?
Yeah.
That was looking good.
Thank you. I've kind of been a bit like tired and busy lately, just like kids and work and everything. So I kind of feel a little bit creatively tapped out at the minute. But I think I'm just kind of holding on until the in-art Joker comes. I feel like when that comes and I can shoot that, I feel like the creative juices will come back. They'll start flowing. But yeah, so I haven't got a hell of a lot going on. I'm still kind of editing the Thanos bust, the Apollo Studios showcase thing. So I'll have that up at some point. And I'm still waiting on like a skull, like a cowl for the DX19 from OT Customs.
Oh, wow.
So I'm hoping to get that at some point soon. And yeah, I'll be shooting the hell out of that as well.
Good stuff. And you have a YouTube channel as well. Is it the same, the 6 Scale Gallery as well?
Same, yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I'm hoping to get more videos on there soon.
Good stuff. But no, it's your honesty is refreshing. That you're like, no, I'm not feeling too creative at the moment. But I did get the impression you're a little bit excited about that in-art Joker. And just in case for the 32 people watching, just in case you haven't heard, there's a company called InArt, and they're releasing a Joker figure. Just you might want to check it out. Like, you know.
Never heard of him.
Yeah. Thanks very much for being here, Alan. And definitely, if you haven't done so already, please do yourself a favor, go over to Instagram and check out at the 6 Scale Gallery and the amazing portrait photography that he does. And last but not least, John Aaron Logan.
What's up? First of all, congrats, Dan, on the modular cases, mate. Can't wait to see some pics on it.
Hell yeah,
video
thank
on
you.
it.
Look good, man.
You know, brother. For me, I just launched my first collection tour. So that just put that out 2 days ago. It's a long one, a bit in depth. I went in deep on it. So I'm happy with that. It was the first one. So it was a lot harder than what I thought, to be honest. But it's done. It's out there. Next, I'm about to start work on the Cable, Deadpool, and Wolverine posing showcase. I'm going to do a little bit of a trio. I'm close. Well, in my mind, I'm close to getting Rob Lidfield to come on my show with me and talk Deadpool and Cable. So
Wow.
I'm trying to convince him. He's liking my comments, but he's not replying. So I'm one step closer.
Wear it down. Wear it down.
So I'm starting a movement. Let's get Rob on the show so we can talk about
Hashtag.
Deadpool and Cable. So I'll be hashtagging him everything. I'm bothering him at the moment. So once look, I am Mando. I'm hunting him. Once I acquire him, I will have him on the show.
Bring him in
The
one.
restraining order is on its way.
The restraining order's on the way. Look, a like means yes in my book. So if you like it, then that's a yes.
He practically swiped right.
Yes, thanks. Hashtag Rob Brian Logan, that'll be great. So working on that, but this weekend I'll be doing Posed Up episode 25 with Marvelous. So I actually first saw her on your show, Shane. So I thought, oh yeah, let's have a chat, another Aussie. So we're going to do her this weekend. Talk with her this weekend. I'm
glad you corrected that.
I didn't want to say it.
Everyone did so well to.
So we'll be talking to her and posing up some figures, and yeah, just pretty much getting back now that I've done the room up, getting back into doing some showcases and things like that. So, and then the rundown this Sunday. If anybody hasn't watched it, it's an interactive show. We have an amazing chat there. We like to have some fun. They pick on me a little bit, but I love it. And we do a rundown on. At the minute, we're doing Andor, and we'll probably do. If I can watch it, Tales of the Jedi as well this episode. So
good.
If you haven't been there. And Andre is long comment guy. He's there. So Andre, I look forward to seeing you on the weekend, brother. So that's it for me, mate.
Excellent stuff. Thank you very much to all the panelists who joined me for the Halloween special. I hope the people in the chat enjoy just us chatting about just basically movies and stuff like that scare the crap out of us. And we've got I definitely have homework to do there with a few of these movies that I haven't seen that I need to see. If you haven't done so already, if you would consider clicking the like and subscribe button if you haven't done so already, and follow me on Instagram at 16figurefocus. That's pretty much it. Again, happy Halloween, folks, and yeah, good night. See you.
Peace out, guys.
Bye-bye.
See you, folks. There we go. Once I can find the outro, come on. All right, and now it's just getting awkward. Here we go. See ya.